Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time for another top 10 movies that you can watch for July 2021, and I've got some real oddball and some fun movies for you to check out this month. So let's get started and jump in to number 10. Number 10, Columbiana. A young woman grows up to be a stone-cold assassin after witnessing her parents' murder as a child in Bogota. She works with her uncle as a hitman by day, but her personal time is spent engaging in vigilante murders that she hopes will lead her to her ultimate target, the mobster responsible for her parents' death. There's not a great deal of surprises in Columbiana. It's just a really interesting and fun action movie. Zoe Saldana stars as the main character, and she is pretty awesome, and what elevates it from just being alright to being quite watchable and engaging and fun. Number 9, Aquaman. Arthur Curry has always been different. His mother was the Queen of Atlantis, but his mother was forced back to her underwater prison when he was just a toddler. Arthur is now an adult, and after learning the truth about his destiny, he sets out to find a king's lost trident and stop an entire war before it even starts. I really like Aquaman. James Wan has a real great sense of direction. There is a great sense of globe-trotting wonderment as they get these various locales. It's bright, it's colourful, funny, and everything you would kind of hope for in a superhero movie. Silly quips and one-liners, terrific action, and a hero you can get behind, as well as a baddie that you want to see fall. I think Aquaman is pretty enjoyable. Number 8, Captain Phillips. The true story of Captain Richard Phillips and the 2009 hijacking by Somali pirates of the US-flagged Marisk, Alabama, the first American cargo ship to be hijacked in 200 years. Paul Greengrass directs, and you have got Tom Hanks starring in this movie that's just a great adult thriller based on a true story. It's kind of shocking to see what happens, but Tom Hanks gives a wonderful performance, particularly at the end as he has this breakdown moment, which is just amazing. But his interactions with the pirates are just what makes the movie so captivating as well. Number 7, Assault in Precinct 13. A police sergeant must rally the cops and prisoners together to protect themselves on New Year's Eve, just as corrupt policemen surround the station with the intent of killing all to keep their deception in the ranks. A remake of John Carpenter's Assault in Precinct 13, this was a really good movie. It had some fun changes about the original, but kept the ethos and the sensibility of that intact, which made it a really enjoyable movie. But it's one of those ones I felt has just slipped away from the mindset of people. You know, very rarely do people talk about how good a remake this was. Sure, the original is better, but this is a really fun action thriller with a great cast and some fantastic moments throughout. Number 6, VFW. A group of old war veterans put their lives on the line to defend a young woman taking shelter in the local VFW post, who's running from a deranged drug dealer and his relentless army of drug-addled punks. Again, this feels like an almost spiritual successor or remake to Assault in Precinct 13. You have a ragtag group of old army buddies who are all wonderful, a terrific cast. They're in a bar, something happens, they have to defend themselves. Of course, they're lethal and very well trained, and they know how to do it. It's soaked in neon lights and with a synth score. It feels like a throwback to the heyday of John Carpenter as well. Number 5, Dead Silence. Jamie and his wife Lisa receive a rather odd package in the mail, a ventriloquist doll. Shortly after its arrival, Lisa is found dead. A solemn Jamie must travel back to his hometown to find answers and to stop the evil presence that pursues him. Again, another James Wan movie, one that's not talked about a lot, and it's about a creepy ventriloquist dummy. That should be enough. It's already creepy having that, but you know that there is something evil within this doll, and it leads to some wonderfully constructed horror sequences that just add a lot of atmosphere in this terrific horror film. Number 4, The Dead Don't Die. As the warm, bright sun refuses to set and a series of equally perplexing events start to take place, the world and the blissfully unsuspecting residents of the sleepy town are about to face the effects of corporate greed. Then, as stone-faced police officers Chief Cliff Robertson and Officer Ronnie Peterson stop for donuts and coffee at the town's diner, unusual activity in the Moonlight Cemetery and blood-soaked scene of carnage could only mean one thing. This is the work of flesh-eating zombies. So The Dead Don't Die is a really weird movie. You will know within the first 10 minutes whether you're going to love it or hate it. I found it really enjoyable. It was my brand of crazy and something that I just utterly loved. I found Adam Driver's performance as this stony-faced realist who sees this scene of carnage and instantly jumps to the conclusion that it's zombies, and he's right, and nobody argues. It's one of those movies that is very funny if you're willing to go with it. It's not your typical movie. It's not your typical zombie movie. It's something fresh and different, and it's worth giving a chance to. You may not like it, but it's something new and worth trying out. Number 3, The Lure. One dark night at Water's Edge, a family of musicians encounter aquatic sirens, silver and golden. After assuring the family that they won't eat them up, the winsome sirens are recruited to join the Figs and Dates band at a neon-lit Warsaw dance club. When Silver becomes romantically entangled with a beautiful blonde bassist, the more cunning Golden, who cannot escape her bloodthirst nature, worries that her sister's relationship will doom their shared dream of swimming to a new life in America. Okay, so The Lure is a bit of a strange one. It's a Polish movie, it's a musical, it's a horror movie about killer mermaids, and it's wonderful. It's a real oddball of a movie. I have loved this movie since I first discovered it a couple of years ago, bought the Blu-ray, can't believe it's on Netflix, and I had to recommend it. Again, I'm sure only a small percentage of you folk will give it a try, but I hope you'll love it as much as I do. Number 2, Kiki's Delivery Service. This is the story of a young witch named Kiki who is now 13 years old, but she's still a little green and plenty headstrong, but also resourceful, imaginative and determined. With her trusty wisp of a talking cat named Gigi by her side, she's ready to take on the world, or at least the quaintly European seaside village she's chosen as her new home. Studio Ghibli film Kiki's Delivery Service is one of those movies that doesn't feel like it's got a real narrative at the heart of it. We're more just following this character as she's discovering moods and developing as a young teenager, and it's wonderful because of that. To see this character kind of falter and have those issues that you start to discover when you get to a certain age, and realise that it's okay that everything's not perfect, and it's okay that everything didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, because things are still positive and you're still going to have those doubts and sad moments in life. I feel that's a wonderful tale to tell, but it's done in such a whimsical fashion. It's just so enjoyable to watch. Kiki's Delivery Service is magical. Number 1, Yesterday. One day Jack was nobody. Everything was perfectly normal until on that one day a global power outage occurred, affecting everything. The very next day, Jack discovers that he is the only one in the world who remembers the Beatles. Whilst trying to wrap his head round what is happening, Jack finds himself on a journey to figure out what happened that one night and to bring back joy and bring back the memory of the one band from yesterday. Danny Boyle directs Yesterday, and it was one of those movies that I was really trepidatious about going and watching. But I found it to be utterly wonderful. It's about a singer-songwriter who can't find his own voice, and then when the Beatles disappear, discovers that he has instant access to all this wonderful music that he can pass off as his own. It's terrific. It's actually got Ed Sheeran in the movie as well, who's really funny as himself in this one. It's got a great romance at the heart of it, and it's just one of those puts a big smile on your face type of movies. I really like Yesterday. It's one of those ones that I feel is going to fade off into the distance and not really get talked about enough, but it's just such a great watch. I hope you like it. So there we have it, 10 fantastic, hopefully, movies that you can check out this month. I hope you find something there that you're really interested in checking out. If there's something that I've missed off my list, something that you think should be on there, let me know in the comment box below, and next month it might make my list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.